Hey, what's up everybody? Great to be back. I haven't, as you guys have noticed, I haven't been around lately, and that's because I've been building an outside office, a backyard office for my wife, who because of COVID-19 is not able to go out to work anymore. So that's taken up the last 2 weeks of my time. I have been exhausted. Even though I haven't been on the tonal, I've been exhausted. But I can say that within the last 2 weeks, I am so happy to hear all of the wonderful comments and appreciation for the videos that I've been making. I've just gotten so many people saying, hey, where you been? What's going on? I haven't heard from you. Haven't seen a new video, and giving me ideas. Thank you guys for the ideas, for the videos. I appreciate it. Believe me, I did not want to be gone this long. I've missed my tonal the last 2 weeks. But I can say that I'm very grateful to be back, and I can't wait to do this video. So basically, we have a couple of things to talk about now. What we're going to look at is, we're going to be looking at the new features that Tonal has. Within the last 2 weeks, they've come out with a couple of new features, which are pretty awesome. And we're going to talk a little bit about them, especially we're going to focus in on the Smart Flex feature. That is a pretty cool feature. I'm going to discuss what I think about it, whether I think it's useful, and I've only used it one time since it's come out, but I got a pretty good idea on what the deal is. So let's get going with that. Alright guys, so let's take a look at a couple of the new features that have recently come out on Tonal. Pretty awesome. I'm very happy to be talking about them. I'm happy to see that they've come into existence. So when I opened up Tonal this morning, I went to my custom chest workout, which is it's pretty much just bench press. And so what I did was I went to start workout, and let's see if it does it again. It may or may not happen. Hold on. Okay, so I don't know what I did. I must have changed a feature, but when I first started this up this morning, on the bottom of the screen, it popped up a whole array of different workouts, and it said, try some of these workouts instead of your bench press. Basically, workouts that gave you the same muscle group exercise popped up. So various workouts that do the same thing as the bench press. So it's giving you variety. This is great for people who don't know what to do, who want to switch up their routine. Popped up right here on the bottom. It had about 7 different workouts, chest fly, stuff like this. I don't know what I did to make it disappear. So I'll try to figure that out, and if I can figure that out to make it come back, I'll let you guys know. But I'm not too hyped about that. It's great for people who don't really know what they want to do, but for me, I don't need that. I know what I want to do. I keep things very simple. I like my bench press, and I like it for a reason. It's good for me because it doesn't cause me pain. I'm strong in that movement. There's many different reasons why I like that. So now let's go here. This is another feature that just recently they fixed. Now before, when you wanted to change your weight, you had to mess with this little dial. You have to be really precise. It was kind of annoying. It's like, all right, I want 36 pounds. Oh, there goes 37. I missed the mark. They finally put a little dial here. You see these arrows? They put these arrows. So now you can just simply click up and down. We don't even need this dial anymore. Who wants that dial? That dial shouldn't even be there. It looks cool, but these arrows are all we need, right? Perfect now. So now you can dial in your weight nice, quick, and easy, no issues. All right? Now, let's get to the Smart Flex mode. Smart Flex. As we can see here, now we have Eccentric mode, we have Chains mode, and we have Smart Flex mode. Let's dive into Smart Flex. So before we dive into Smart Flex mode, I have to say, I have missed Tonal so much. Man, if I didn't have this machine, all of a sudden, I would miss it. It would affect my life. I would be depressed. That's how much I would miss this machine. Even if you took this machine away and gave me a gym membership, I would be so sad if I didn't have this machine. Let me just get that out there. All right, so now what Smart Flex mode is, I want to say it's in an in-between. It's an in-between between regular mode and Eccentric. Okay, I want to say it's an in-between. Now, what do I mean when I say that? Okay, it's actually a mix between Eccentric, chains, and regular. So I've experimented with the regular mode, with no special modes, no eccentric, no chains, nothing like that, right? So I've experimented with regular, I've experimented with the eccentric, and I've also experimented with the chains mode. Now, chains mode is, I think it's pretty great. I mean, what ends up happening is with chains mode is it's the opposite of eccentric. So with eccentric, it's going to give you heavy, heavy weight on the downward portion of your movement. And the reason why it does that is because you, me, everybody is stronger when it comes to the downward portion of a movement. So if I was over here doing a bicep curl, right? Eccentric mode is essentially going to, when you come up, be nice and easy and very difficult on the way down. And what that does is it rips your muscle fibers in a way that regular weight can't do. Because, face it, if you have, let's say, a 50-pound dumbbell in your arm, you're not going to be able to lift that 50-pound dumbbell super easy and then drop it down real slow. Because you're weaker on the way up. So your muscles are basically doing extra work that whole time. And it's going to be harder on the way up. It's going to fatigue your muscle more, which is going to prevent you from being able to bring it down steadily. It's going to kind of want to fall. You know what I mean? That's basically what eccentric mode is. Chains mode is the opposite of eccentric, where in the beginning, it's hard. So you're pushing the bench press. Eccentric mode is, chains mode is hard on the way up and then easy on the way down. Okay, so it's the opposite of eccentric. Is chains mode good? It's very good. It teaches your body how to have explosive force. So when you're using chains, you can really train your body to push out weight, which is something that you can't necessarily do with standard weightlifting. Standard weightlifting, no, you can't do that because you're using the same force up, same force down, same weight up, same weight down. So your muscles are being fatigued on both ends. If you're training specifically for force, you're going to want that chains mode. If you're training specifically for muscle growth and strength training, I would say eccentric mode is the way to go. I've seen some amazing improvement with eccentric mode. What I mean by improvement is my muscles are growing quicker, okay? And I see the strength improve after every workout. I'm talking about when I recover, I'm stronger than I was, and I can physically see that on a day-to-day basis. So chains mode has its place, eccentric mode has its place, standard mode, where you have no special mode, has its place. If you want a regular workout where you're fatigued on the way up, on the way down, standard mode is great. Now, where does Smart Flex come into play? Smart Flex is pretty amazing. I don't have to tell you guys this, but you're not going to find this anywhere. You can't get this from a weight machine at the gym. You can't get this from dumbbells. You can't get this from weight bands. For some reason, people love weight bands. And hey, I'm not saying they're bad. I've used them myself. They're not a tonal. So many people are like, hey, I don't need a tonal. I'll get weight bands. Have fun with your weight bands. But they're not going to touch this. They're not going to touch it. It's impossible. So anyway, let's get on with the Smart Flex, right? What this thing is doing is it's reading your muscles' capacity to push and pull weight. So let's say you're doing a bench press, right? You're doing a bench press, you're on Smart Flex mode. It's going to sense if you're struggling on the way up just a little bit, it's going to lower the weight a little bit. By the time you get to a point where your muscles are so strong, because we're all strong in different areas, right? So on the way up, maybe you're stronger than on your way down, or maybe it's opposite. What this mode is going to do is it's going to read your muscles, okay? It's going to read your muscles' capacity to push and pull, and it's going to regulate the weight based upon your capacity. So let's say you're having a little trouble going up. It's going to lower the weight. Now all of a sudden, you're coming down, and you're strong on the way down. It's going to up the weight. Now if all of a sudden you're towards your middle, and you're kind of weakening, it's going to lower the weight. Now you come down and now you're a little bit stronger again. It's going to up the weight. It's constantly fluctuating. So that's what I've noticed from what I've been doing when I use the Smart Flex mode. Smart Flex mode in comparison to Eccentric mode, two completely different things. Just like chains mode is different. Now I don't really utilize chains mode too much. The thing I love about this machine is it has a 200-pound weight limit. And I put 200-pound in air quotes because it's way more than 200 pounds, guys. Tonal's weight is not regular weight. If you've watched my previous videos, if you've done any research about this machine, you know Tonal's weight is not regular weight. It is much heavier. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's say we got 300 pounds of weight, digital weight on this machine. Let's say we got 300 pounds. They claim it's 200. Let's just say we got 300 because I'm thinking that's probably where we're at. When you train using these various modes, Smart Flex, Eccentric, Chains mode, when you're training using these various modes, you are using your muscles in different ways. So even if you only have max 300 pounds on this machine, it doesn't matter. Because even if you maxed out all your weight on your bench press, let's say, for example, you maxed it out. I'm doing the 200 pounds digital weight that this machine's given me, and I can't go anymore, and I'm tired of this machine. Well, guess what? Just change the mode. You're not going to be tired any longer because those modes are going to affect your muscles in a different way. To now, you need to push, you need to angle your body a little bit different. Your muscles are going to be shocked, and they're going to be like, whoa. And all of a sudden, you have more weight to play with, right? Because now your muscles are being played with more. This machine is messing with your muscles. It's messing with the fibers. In this mode, you have to push here, but in this mode, you got to pull here. That's what it's doing, and it's incredible. So don't worry about maxing out on weight. Originally, I was a little concerned with maxing out weight on this machine. I don't see that happening for a very long time with me. If you're a bodybuilder, you don't want this machine because you're probably bench pressing 400 or 500 pounds, whatever it is. This machine's not really going to help you all that much from what I can tell. With these modes, it will definitely be able to help you improve in certain areas. The pushing, the pulling. It's going to help you fine-tune your muscles and your exercise, but it still might not be enough weight. But how many of us are bodybuilders? You know what I'm saying? So, for the normal person, I've gotten asked plenty of times, will this machine for the average guy build muscle? Oh yeah, it's going to build a ton of muscle. Ton of muscle. You're going to have too much muscle by the time you're done. So if you're a regular average guy, you just like to work out, you like to be fit, and maybe you want to grow a few inches on your arms, get it. It's going to do it. So if you can afford it, it's a good investment. Back to Smart Flex. Back to Smart Flex. So what Smart Flex is doing is it's messing with your muscles based upon your muscles' capacity to push or pull. The machine can sense whether or not you need the weight lowered or you need the weight increased, depending on your strength at that moment during the rep. Now, how does that vary from Eccentric mode? I love Eccentric mode. Eccentric mode, you're basically going up easy, right? And it's going to come down on you heavy. So your muscles are forced to hold that weight up and go through that rep as slow as possible on that downward portion of the movement. That burns your muscles out so fast, let me tell you. So with Eccentric mode, you're kind of cheating because what you can do is you can lift very light and then all of a sudden the weight gets super heavy. So just imagine you're on the bench press and you have two guys, one on each side, helping you up with that weight, and now you're dropping. They let go at the top portion. Now you're coming down. You're dropping all that heavy weight. You're able to lift more weight, because you can come up easy. So you're not burning yourself out on that upward portion, and you're coming down on a portion that is going to rip those muscle fibers down to shreds by the time it gets down to your chest on that movement. So you're basically, I look at it as kind of cheating, but because you can't replicate it. You can't replicate it with any other machine or any other type of equipment. So you're kind of cheating in a way, right? But it doesn't matter because it's making you build your muscle faster. It's ripping your muscles quicker than it would regular standard bench press. Now, where SmartFlex comes in, again, is it's not eccentric mode, okay? So what I experienced when I was using SmartFlex was when you're coming up, it's a fluid movement. When I'm using SmartFlex, it's like it knows my muscles, which is weird. You ever done a rep and it was so fluid where it was like this. It was just like this. Does this make sense? It's just the weight's going with your body. That's what happened with SmartFlex with me. And so why is that impressive? That's impressive because you're getting the most out of your movement as possible. It's helping you where you need help. It's making it more hard. It's making it harder for you where you need it to be harder so you can improve. It's basically perfecting your rep. That's what it's doing. You can't do that with standard bench press or, whatever exercise. I'm using bench press as an example, but you can't do that with any exercise, with any other machine, with any other form of weight training. You can't do it. You can't perfect it because standard weightlifting, right? If you're bench pressing, let's say 80 pounds, right? You're bench pressing 80 pounds. You got to bench that 80 pounds up and you got to hold that 80 pounds coming down. You got to bench it back up, coming down. With the SmartFlex, it is sensing when you need help. And so basically, you're not getting overly fatigued at certain points. With regular bench press, you might be struggling at one point, and that struggle can hurt you. You can get hurt trying to lift past a certain point just to get to another point where you're strong. Or you're just going to get overly fatigued on one portion, and you're not going to be able to get the most out of your rep. SmartFlex is going to help you to get the most out of every single rep. Now, I'm going to compare this with the Eccentric. What do I like better? I don't know yet. I've only used it a couple times. So, SmartFlex is great, but I think it's closer to a standard, rep with no special modes. I like Eccentric mode because I can push up barely any weight. Let's say I push up 50 pounds and it's coming down on me 85 pounds. I love that. It's breaking your muscles down and you feel it with every rep. With the SmartFlex, you still have some resistance. You have resistance going up. So you can't just push up real quick and then come down real heavy. You're working on your way up. And then you're working on your way down. It's going to perfect it. It's going to make it easier. When you need help, it's going to help you, but you still need to put in that extra work, which at the end of the day is going to take away from the eccentric portion of you coming down. Okay? Does it all balance out in the end? Are you still getting an extremely good workout in the end? Of course. Of course you're getting an extremely good workout. You're getting an incredible workout. But I don't know what I like better. I really love using eccentric mode. But over the next couple weeks, I'm going to keep you guys informed. What do I like better? What do I think works better for building muscle? I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between the SmartFlex and the Eccentric. Again, I don't really utilize the chains mode too much, but I'll bounce back between these two for the most part, and I'll let you guys know in the upcoming weeks. Let me tell you, spotter mode. I've done video on spotter mode before. It saved my life, literally. I'll link the video up at the end of this video. It literally saved my life. If it was regular weights, I would have died. Spotter mode saves you. When it sees that you're struggling, it's going to pick up some of the slack from the weight. It's as if you have a spotter there. Spotter mode has been coming in handy these days, guys, because this machine is pushing me to my limits. This machine is allowing me to push to my limits. Spotter mode is amazing. This machine is amazing. I hope this video was helpful. I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. And thank you again for the outpouring of you guys letting me know how much you've missed these videos asking where I've been, asking how I've been. It means so much to me, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Take care.